Welcome to another episode. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges of owning an RV. Hopefully you're handy. I have some skills. I'm not the best at them, but I am capable. You'll find in this video that I had to repair a water leak, and I'm going to walk you through a little bit about some of what I have done to fix it. So this is a discovery of what to do if you have a water leak in your RV. And I'll turn the camera around so you can see the mess I have right now. So I'm in my RV at the moment, and as you can see, it's a mess. So I'll start from the beginning of how I discovered that I had a water leak. You know, if it's big enough, obviously you're going to know that you have a water leak, but mine wasn't big enough. What I did notice is that when I was sitting in the RV and I was not connected to a water line, hose outside, and I was using the water pump, I noticed the water pump kicking on even when we weren't using the water in the RV. And that was an indication to me that somewhere along the way, the RV was leaking water somewhere. So what I had to do is I had to start looking for where the water was coming from, and that's why these drawers are out. So I'm showing you the mess, mainly because you will probably have to do the same thing. If you're in your RV and you notice the water pump running even though you're not using your water, then it's an indication you probably have a leak somewhere. So I started pulling out these drawers, and because I have some water lines underneath the bed there, and it wasn't there, and I looked underneath the shower, and it wasn't there, but what I did do is I started to look, okay, well, where is the water coming from? Where is it leaking from and to? So I started to look around, and I discovered where it was after taking some of these panels off, that it was down underneath my sink, and which is okay, but it's tight in here. So there was a connector down here that I had to remove, and I'm going to go buy another piece. But I wanted to show you and talk to you a little bit about how to discover a water leak first. And like I said, if you noticed that your water pump is kicking on, and you're not using water, then there's probably a water leak somewhere, and you need to discover, where that is. I found, for me, that it was this little piece here, and it's a low water point, and it had cracked. And what's interesting about this is the second time. I thought that I did a pretty good job of blowing out the water out of the line in the wintertime, and maybe I did not. That's possible. It's late summer now. I don't know why I decided to crack now, out of all times, but it did. And so I've got to go buy another piece here, which is fine. And it took me a little bit of time to get down there and figure out how to cut it, get it out, because that space is pretty tight. So I'm going to go get another piece. This is a PEX line. It's supposed to be able to handle some freezing temperatures. It was freeze resistant, I guess. So it'll handle some freezing, but these connectors are the issue. They're hard plastic and they crack and break if they freeze. So I'm going to go get another piece and replace this. And I'm even thinking about maybe a metal connector. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do. But from what I read online, it's not necessarily any better than the plastic. They're about equivalent when it comes to freezing. But what I learned from this is I got to do a little more thorough job of blowing out the lines, I think, come winter time, so I don't have this issue again. But hasn't been too bad, and I recall that when I got in a big hurry to blow out the lines this winter, and that may have been the problem. I should have taken a little bit more time. But if you have a water leak and you're sitting in your RV and you notice the water pump kicking on, probably means you got a water leak. Then you got to start pulling out drawers and find out where the water is coming from, and then fix it. Now, a question arose about why not just bring it to an RV dealership and have the warranty pay for it. A couple things about that. One, I don't think the warranty would pay for my stupidity of having it freeze. But two, around here in Colorado, it takes a long time, and I'm talking about months, to get your RV into a dealership and have it repaired. So I'm doing it myself because this is relatively easy, I guess, aside from the small space that you have to work in. That part's been a little bit challenge, but I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to go down to Home Depot and get this piece and then repair it, and I'll show you in the next video what my final repair job. So that's it. Hopefully this video is helpful to others who may have a water leak in their RV. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, then chase it down, find it, fix it, and clear out your water lines better come winter time, so you don't have this issue anymore. If you've been following along this far and you like this content, please subscribe, as that's pretty helpful for me. And I have a new channel here where I'm just RVing and showing you the life of travel and RVing. So hopefully you find this helpful. If you'd subscribe, that would be great, and leave a comment. Thank you much, and stay tuned for the next video when it's repaired. Goodbye. Hello, welcome back for the outcome of my RV leak. I'm going to tell you what occurred and if I had success, which I did. So I want to show you the tools I used and what the outcome was. I'm here in my garage. It's now a week later, and I don't have my RV here, but I wanted to show you the tools I use and how well things went for me. So let me show you the tools. So I have these tools. Here's what I did in order to cut the pipe. I used my hacksaw, and that worked pretty well. Luckily it was small because I was dealing with a pretty small space, and that went pretty well. However, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of effort because of trying to cut the PEX pipe was very hard because the space was really small. I did not realize that they have a PEX cutting tool. So for anyone, if you have this occur for you, you'll want to know this, that this PEX cutting tool would work a whole lot better, and it would cut a straight edge. So be aware of that. This was like $10 or something. So I wish I would have known that that existed. I would have went that route. Got these clamps, pinch clamps, and this is the tool in order to pinch the clamps around the PEX. So I bought a brass T connector, and I'm hoping that that won't crack again in the future. I will make sure I blow out my water lines a little better next time, but I wanted to show you that these are the tools. This was the clamp, and here is the tool that makes the clamps tight. And this tool worked pretty good. You know, you put the little piece in there, and it worked pretty good, except for the fact that my space was really small, and it made it really hard to be able to clamp it. So you may have that difficulty as well. So keep that in mind. But overall, you know, it cost me about $50 to fix my water leak in the RV, and now I don't have to worry about it anymore. Hopefully this winter I will not have a water leak, because I will, you know, drain out my or at least blow out my water lines a whole lot better. So, but I wanted to show you the tools I used. I used this hacksaw, not knowing that this PEX cutter exists. This is cheap. This is like 10 bucks. So, and this was like $30 for the clamping tool. So you'll need that. I was expecting a little, you know, where you tighten the clamp with a screwdriver. Didn't realize that these pinch clamps is what you use for PEX. So keep that in mind. I just wanted to give you an overview or an outcome of what occurred a little over a week ago with me repairing my water leak in my RV, and it went well. A little frustrated at the moment, but now it's fixed, so I know how to do it in the future, and you know how to do it as well. So that's it for now. Hope you liked this video. If you would, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.